Here, I'll give you some content-free music. This is what you get on a tuner. You see the backlight's working, but there's no information on it. Now what I did was I went ahead and hooked it up to auxiliary, and having nothing better to hook up to than this for close at hand, Radio Shack, realistic. So the auxiliary works. I'm not sure what year this Radio Shack cassette player was made. I picked it up at a Goodwill probably a year ago, and only because it was priced at like $8, and I collect amongst everything else at Radio Shack stuff. But it, surprisingly enough, it works. There's no slipping of the belts or anything. So we get some type of movement out of the CD player. I do get a display. The backlight does not work, but it will not open the tray properly because the belt's bad. And if you do get the tray open and you put a CD in there, it cycles through the CDs, but it does not see the CD. But that proves that the power supply is partially working. The tape player on this cassette player, I told you yesterday or the previous video that I can see the belts moving in the back when I have the back off of it, but they're slipping really bad, so nothing there. And I am now getting static on the tuner, but no music, no nothing. But the volume control is working now, which it wasn't before. So I'm starting to think there's possibly the problems are in the voltage going to the tuner chip. And I think if I cleaned up got the CD working, put a belt in the tray and everything else, it might actually work, but I don't know for sure. Actually sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So at least I have an amplifier, guys. Next thing is I'm going to take the back and the front off of this and start measuring voltages on the power supply. Like I said, it's got an analog power supply. There's no switching power supply. There's no whatever they call when the power doesn't stay on when you turn the power off. It's not a switching supply. So I'm thinking probably some dried out capacitors, maybe one of the diodes in the rectifiers. It's got 4 diodes to the rectifier. It's pretty simple. Or maybe one of the filter caps is really weak. It's not putting out the proper voltage. Okay. And I think that's as far as I'm going to get for today. I'm just been trying to study this without taking it apart to see if I could figure out what's wrong with it before I take it apart. It's good to have a place to start, you know? This whole thing about just ripping something apart and replacing all the caps and stuff is not cost effective for me at all. You can run up a $60 tab with Mauser, because what happens is when you buy one resistor or one capacitor, you end up buying 10 of them since you're buying them already. So anything that costs like $1.80, now you're looking at $8. They're charging you $8 for shipping, and then you end up buying some more stuff as long as you're on their page. So I don't know. That's just the way you can really run off a bill. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and back out of this for right now. Bye. Well, I brought it in the house because it was starting to get too humid outside. You can see I'm getting power on the tuner, but no information still. However, that being said, I hooked up a halfway decent tuner to the unit to use it as an amplifier. This is an older Kenwood AM/FM stereo receiver. This has got the record out on it. I think this was made in the middle 90s, or middle 80s actually. That's what it sounds like. Still using the computer speakers, but at least I'm getting use out of it. Alright, here's the back off of it. There's the input transformer. There's the power supply. There's the cassette unit. There's the tuner. Ferrite rod. So you can see these are all mounted. They're screwed right into the masonite or the plywood, whatever it is. I can pull the power supply out pretty easy. That's the amplifier right there. And I think that's a voltage regulator. I think that's the amplifier. I'll have to look at it more closely. It's got a 4-diode rectifier in it. You see all the stuff coming off of there? Got some chips, regulator chips probably. Got 2 fuses for the output. Those are the filter caps. So that must be that would be the voltage regulator then with the filter caps. Alright, so I'll go ahead and take the power supply out and check that on the next video. A lot of caps on that thing. They're all electrolytics. That should be interesting. Somewhere in there there's a bad cap. Alright, I'll talk to you later.